Hi there, it's Ariana from Ariana Mullins Bodywork. Today I want to talk to the mothers out there. I just finished doing a postpartum workshop with some women in the community on Saturday, so a couple of days ago. And it was such a beautiful time. And there are some thoughts from the workshop that I want to share with you. So, a common struggle for women after they have their baby is this feeling of who am I now? I don't look the same. I don't feel the same. And I would like to figure out how to return to myself as I know myself. And of course, that is a very natural desire. There's so much change happening, and we want what is familiar. We want to be ourselves. I like to look at birth as the heroine's journey. So if you're not familiar with the hero's journey, this is a theme that is really common in most myths and fairy tales, and you'll see it in movies like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, anything that has some kind of arc of adventure and challenge. So the basic arc is there's a call to adventure and there's a challenge put forth. And the person may be reluctant at first, but they accept the challenge. They go on their journey. They go through a dark forest where there's scary things and hang-ups and setbacks, and somebody comes and appears. Maybe it's a supernatural thing, but there's somebody who helps them, and they give them special tools or gifts, or they feed them a warm meal and encourage them to go on. And then you come to the main crisis where they're slaying the dragon, or in Star Wars shooting the Death Star, or whatever it is, and it really tests them, and really they don't know if they're going to come through. But in that process of coming through, they learn so many things about themselves, and they discover gifts and truths that they can use for their own community and bettering humanity in some way. And then they kind of have this readjustment phase, and then they're welcomed back into the community and celebrated, and they become one of the elders that's a source of wisdom for the rest of the community. So this is really classic, and we think about it more in terms of men and the sort of male story, but this is a human thing. And I see the journey into motherhood as a huge heroine's journey of becoming. So we have to let go of who we were and go into unknown territory. And as we are growing another person inside of us or going through the adoption process, there is so much that is just unknown. And there can be real pain, or there can be real fear. And in some cases, there is a real risk to life. And hopefully there are people along that journey that support us. And I am one of those people who offers support to women through pregnancy and preparing for delivery, and of course postpartum. And the birth itself is this sort of epic moment, and it's very transformative. No matter what your birth story is or what your adoption story and process is, it is transformative. And it is a big part of who you are in the future. And there are elements that will test you to your core, and elements of triumph, and elements that may need further healing and processing. And we come through on the other side. And the design is that we have overcome in some way. We've come through, we've come to know ourselves better. We've gotten in touch with a spiritual dimension in a different way than we had before. And there should be people on the other side also helping us integrate back into community, helping us to recover. And so if you think about a warrior coming back maybe with some wounds, and the people who tend him and help those to heal, the same is needed for women. But in the end, and this is my big message, we are never the same. We have changed. We have gone through a transformation process that is very physical, but it is very spiritual as well. And there is this thought that if I could only look like the woman I was before I started, then I will be the woman I was before I started. But you will never be who you were before you started this epic journey and all of these discoveries. And I believe that these kinds of experiences make us better. They make us better, deeper, stronger, more understanding, more compassionate, more vulnerable, more resourceful humans. Yes, the struggle is reflected in our bodies. If we had a pregnancy and birthed our children, that is apparent. Just like a warrior would come back from a huge battle and have scars on his physical body, he will never be the same. And we will never be the same. But we don't want to be the same. We don't want to be teenagers. We don't want to be children. We are progressing through life with these big, huge moments and experiences and lessons. And the fact that they show on our bodies and our faces should not be something that brings us shame or that devalues us. We are real humans going through real changes and physical experiences, and this is part of life. And the physical experiences that also came with emotional and spiritual experiences need to be celebrated. They need to be validated. And part of re-entry into the community is validating that you have been through something epic and that you are a different person now and that you are taking a different place in the community as a result. And when we are able to heal from the difficult elements of our birth experiences, we become healing people for others who are also being initiated in this way. So I just want to encourage you to think about it a little bit in that way, to be proud of who you are and what you have come through, to not see the signs of motherhood on your body as something to be ashamed of at all, and to also think about how we talk about motherhood and talk about our bodies, and just to encourage you to be compassionate with yourself and the people around you, and to take a little bit of a deeper perspective than my body's not the same and I'm not the same and that's a bummer. We're not supposed to stay the same. We're supposed to change, and we're going to change physically. There is a maiden's body, one who has not known pregnancy and birth, and there is a mother's body, and you're not meant to have a maiden's body once you are a mother. It is okay to have a mother's body because it is real. So anyway, I just keep thinking about this and wanted to share these thoughts with you. And I hope it is a helpful perspective. Thanks for watching.